top of the morning, top of the afternoon, top of the evening. Welcome to Booked and Unbothered. I hope you all are doing well. What'd y'all read? What'd y'all read this week? Last week. Last week, I had the chance to read The Honeymoon by Janie James. It's a nice little ride. It takes place in a luxury resort in Bali where there's 5 different couples, and they show up, to celebrate their recent nuptials. So, on the surface, just because it's, supposed to be honeymoon, it's all, you think you're going to have like champagne toast and tropical tranquility. But underneath, every couple is carrying a secret, which makes the whole story interesting. And what makes it such a tasty book is they're all connected. The couples are all connected in a way. Some of them are linked intentional, others are purely coincidental. And it pulls you in. And it's crazy how the couples, arrived and thought that, they were there for like a blissful getaway. But instead, they ended up tangled up in dark situations. So dark. Definitely a spoiler alert. I'll make sure I put that in the description. So dark that some people don't make it out alive. Honeymoon. Don't make it out alive. I don't know if I should have told you, but I told you. It's crazy, eerie book. While reading this book, it gave me the sense that I, the reader, had a secret too. Like I was somehow involved and needed to keep things under wraps. That's how immersive the story was. It was spectacular that the inclusion of a gay couple among the newlyweds made it in the book. Loved it. It added another layer of dimension and diversity to the group of dynamics. So they're all there expecting to bond for 2 weeks, but end up finding out that the locals call this resort Black Magic Island. Too bad that warning didn't make it in the brochure. As far as the structure, I listened to it via the Audible version, and I thought that the multi-narrator approach was a great touch. Each couple had their own distinct voice, which helped keep the characters clear and concise. Although, I'll be honest, there was one narrator who just did not hit the mark. I won't name names. I won't even, say anything bad, but she just might need a little bit more training in narrating. That's all. Now, also honest, for a story that was just packed with intrigue and suspension and just that build up, the ending fell flat. The final reveal felt undercooked. Like Jane, maybe she was on a deadline, and had to wrap it up quickly. And I give this critique with love because I've been there. Though I'm not a published author or anything like that. I'll write a story and the ending just won't land right. That's how this one felt. All the ingredients were there. The build-up was fantastic, but the last few pages, the plot didn't deliver that punch I was hoping for. That said, I did enjoy the book. It kept me guessing and kept me engaged, and I would recommend it. 4 star. So, traveling down the Reddit streets, in one of my communities, there was a question. What's a book you couldn't stop thinking about after finishing it? 2 books came to mind instantly. My Name is Memory by Brashares. Okay, so I first read this book in 2017, and honestly, it still lives rent-free in my head. Whenever someone asks for a book recommendation, especially if they want a romance, and it's deep, soul level deep, this is the book I would recommend. And I think the reason why this story has stayed with me for so long, because a very interesting premise. Like, I've not come across a book that was written like this. So imagine having the ability to remember all of your past lives, every detail, every emotion, every person. Now imagine falling in love once and then spending every reincarnation searching for that same person, hoping they'll remember you. Sweet, right? Just that alone, that's the heartbreak and the beauty of Daniel's story. So this book follows Daniel, a soul who's both gifted and cursed with perfect memory through each of many lives. And through those lives, across centuries and continents, he's searching for Sophia, his first love, and in many ways, his original sin. And why the heartbreak Daniel is experiencing is because in some ways he finds her, but fate always throws something in the way. Sometimes she's his brother's wife. Other times she's born decades before him. No matter what the circumstances, she never remembers who he is or what they've shared in other lifetimes. It's so sad. And all he's trying to do, he's trying to cling to their connection. And every time he meets her again, it's like starting fresh. It's like starting all over again because she doesn't remember. And to make things even worse, Daniel is being haunted by a different soul, a dark and dangerous soul from one of his past lives who's holding on to some grudge that refuses to die. And that extra tension adds, a little haunting edge to its already bittersweet love story. And because I've never read a book like this before, the world building was enchanting. It was so good. The emotional pull is real. It made me wonder about fate and memory and, as we get older, just things change. And true love is beyond time itself. So I also just learned that, while doing a little digging after reminiscing, I learned that this might have been intended as part of a series. Supposedly there was like a follow-up planned, but it's been caught in publishing limbo for years, which honestly hurts my soul a little. I would absolutely love to reread this book again and read more about Daniel and Sophia. Check it out, y'all. Just check it out. Okay, the second book that lives rent-free in my head, it's my all-time favorite book, is White Oleander by Janet Fitch. I've read this book more than once, and each time it hits me hard. I cry each time I read it. I resonate with this story so deeply. You have Astrid, who's a young girl navigating through the foster care system after her mother, Ingrid, was sent to prison because she committed murder. And what unfolds, it's raw, emotional journey of survival and self-discovery, and what it really means to grow up in a space where no one really has your back. Her and her mother were really tight. They were really close. And to go from that to filtering through the foster care system and no one really cares about you. And us the reader is sat right there in the front row as Astrid is tossed from foster home to foster home, living with people who couldn't care less about her well-being, and yet she persists. She finds ways to hold on to pieces of herself, even when the world seems to just constantly try to reshape her situations. And watching her transform, fall apart, rebuild, it's bothersome and beautiful at the same time. I think what hits me the most about this book is the complicated bond between her and her mother. The way love can be both poison and salvation. I don't know. There's scenes, like I said, every time I read this book, I cry. It doesn't matter. I still cry. I know what's going to happen. I still cry. This book is meant to be felt. And though both of these stories are, vastly different, it just reminds me why I read in the first place. Just to feel deeply and to be transported into different worlds. And yeah, you should check that book out if you haven't. That concludes this week's episode. I appreciate your presence. Like, comment, subscribe. It's free. Stay but don't bother. I'll see you next week.